Hi everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of Scrappy Sisters Scrap September. And today we are talking about shape. So I've got the amazing Claire Murphy from Scrappy Nerd UK joining us as an Instagram and YouTube layout. She has heaps and heaps and heaps of different things on her YouTube channel. I love the way that she creates playlists and organizes things in terms of, like, she's got her Alpha Attack series where she's using up supplies. She's got her Traveler's Notebook stuff. Definitely check her out if you haven't already. She's linked down below. And then we've got the gorgeous Amber from Dragonfly Dreams joining us, and she is an Instagram poster, so definitely check out her link down below. She's got so many layouts happening over on her page. You definitely want to go and check her out. So, a shape challenge. What does that even mean? Well, it doesn't mean much. It basically means create a layout using a particular shape as kind of your inspo or kind of your direction piece. So I'm using the gorgeous Willow Lane collection, and I really loved the yellow piece of paper, but it's got these to die for butterflies on the back, and I just couldn't use it as one whole piece of pattern paper and lose those amazing butterflies. So instead, I have mixed my own yellow using that tiny little bit of green as you saw, and that is acrylic paint, Kaiser Craft acrylic paint. And I copied as closely as I could that colour yellow, mostly because then I know it's going to match in really well with the rest of the Willow Lane collection, and also just because I really loved the mustardy colour that it was. So as you can see, I am doing hexagons. I have already cut out a whole bunch of hexagons from the Willow Lane papers, and I just decided last minute that I really wanted to have a go at using a shaker pocket. Over on the Confessions of the Paper Addict Facebook group a little while ago, they asked the question, what is a tool you have in your supplies that you have never ever used? Mine is the fuse tool. Look, I haven't had it for very long, but months. I've had it for months, and I've never cracked it out of its container. I specifically bought it with the intention of sealing closed my pocket page pockets, because I get really frustrated with my cards coming out of those pockets. But that job just sounds so dull. That I'd rather be creating, and I've never used it. So today I just randomly decided that I wanted to make shaker pockets using actual plastic pockets. And I had these little leftover confetti hearts that I'd been saving for a rainy day inside these pockets already. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So I went and got my fuse tool, and first time using it, so simple, so easy. Let it heat up for a while and you're good to go. And there is my hexagon shaker pocket with the random confetti inside. So I made 2 of those. And the glue. The paint is pretty much dry now, so I'm just going to start putting those down. I've had to think already about how I want to lay these out, which is basically higgledy-piggledy. I don't want them to be completely perfectly, making like a pattern across the page. I just want to pop them all over and have a really cute honeycomb effect happening on the page. And make sure I spread the photos out, and make sure I spread the shaker pockets out just so it looks fairly equally spread. Now, I will say I did not think about where I was going to put my title. That was tricky, but we will get to that in a moment. I have got, I think, 5 photos, or maybe is it 4 photos on this layout, which I'm quite happy about. It's a bit of a challenge to use that many photos sometimes, but it was one of those problems where your son was doing something cute, so you went snap, 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 and then when you had to narrow down how many of them you wanted to use, you couldn't. They were all so gorgeous, I wanted them all. So I used them all. Just again having a fiddle about where I think I might place everything. and now I'm pretty happy. So I decided having the 2 shaker pockets was really cute and I loved that, but then having the other hexagons flat and plain looked like it was lacking something. So I'm just fringing up half a hexagon. I cut an additional half hexagon from some scrap and fringing that up. I don't own fringing scissors, so I just use my normal scissors to do that. And I'm going to glue that on top of one of the original hexagons that I'd have already cut. So I'm just going to glue that across the middle there. And I have decided on that blue one because I liked the contrasting colour. And then I decide as well that that's not quite enough. Needs to be a little bit prettier. So I also get a little bit of really super thin gold washi and I pop that across the seam. And I think that looks awesome. I love the effect that that has on the hexagons. And it kind of jazzes them up a little bit so they're not so, flat and plain and boring. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to do 2 of those. So I've got 2 fringed hexagons, 2 shaker hexagons, and then, sorry, I just had to pause for a minute because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm calling these hexagons. Are they octagons? No, hexagons. And the rest I will keep fairly simple as they are because I will need to put embellishments in on the page. So I skipped the process of me working out where to put the heading, the title, because I would have had to speed it up by like 20 times the speed because I think I tried every tiny little hexagon spot to put it in before I settled on that one because it just didn't fit in any of them. So I don't have any of the Willow Lane ephemera die cuts left. I've only got the chipboard and I really want to use it, but it's just too fat and bulky for what I'm trying to do. So I decide, whatever, I'm just going to pull it off the foam. I'm still using the ephemera. I don't damage it as such. I just want it flat. So I carefully peel that off and I'm going to glue that down now on top of, a little bit on top of the shaker pocket, a little bit on top of the hexagon, and then a little bit just on my backing paper. And I'm really pleased that I was brave enough to do that. Usually I would never do that to a piece of ephemera. I'd be like, oh, that's not what its purpose was. How could you do that? But I'm really happy with the way that that turned out. So I'm glad I did. And then I rolled with it and just did it again. So really cute little cat frame. I've always wondered how I was going to use those and I actually prefer them flatter. So yes, happy with that. And I actually kept the little bits of foam so that I can use them for maybe popping up photos or something like that in the future. I'm getting the little gold bow and the little gold love heart off the same thicker sheet that I used to get the title. And I left the mustard coloured rose on the foam. So I'm kind of, living dangerously and doing a little bit of everything. I love these little puffy guys, but I end up only using the hearts. I only had 2 left anyway, so I just used those 2 hearts. I really, really, really wanted to use some of the character heads, but they didn't really go with the mood and feel of this layout. And as much as I loved them, I'm like, no, that's silly. Save them for a different layout. So I did that. And then I realised when I was about to pack up those stickers that there were actually hexagon shapes in those stickers. So I'm just going to embrace the hexagons and pop some more onto the page. And I just love the colour, the gold pop everywhere now. I'm really loving the gold. I almost want to go like over the top gold because I think it's really cute. So after I do that, I'm wondering how else to embellish what's going on here. I'm not really sure what I want to do now. I feel like I want more, but as I said, I don't have paper embellishments, so I'm umming and ahhing. I decided I really like those little word phrases, so I think I might try and put some of those on. They're a little bit big and they're quite dark for the page, but I think I can make them work. So I'm just having a play with those. And so I get the 2 on and then realise, well, I need to have 3 because rule of thirds. And because they're so black, I really want to have 3. So I have a fiddle around with that last one, where to put it. I like it up the top there, but I wanted it tucked under so much that you couldn't really read it. So that was a bit of a waste. So no, that doesn't work there. So I sometimes hold my page up like that so I can see it a bit better, or I might stand up as well. But yeah, so it's going to go back up the top, and I'll just have to make sure it's up high enough that I can read it. And then I think I'm done. I think if I do much more, I'm going to ruin the effect of all of the beautiful hexagons. Even though it's not hugely embellished, having the shaker pocket and the fringe pockets, the fringe hexagons add some really good dimension and effect to the page. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Pop on some enamel dots, pop on some Heidi Shine, and we'll be done. So I'm just having a look at what kind of enamel dots I want to use. I pretty much call everything enamel dots. PS, there might be rhinestones, there might be pearls. At this point in time, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use. As you can see off to the left, I've got some black and gold ones there, but I hadn't quite decided yet. But I do decide to go for these really little black ones. That I pop those around on the page. They're a little bit tricky to use. They're all joined together in one strip, so I have to cut them apart, and then they're so tiny they get lost. So yes, they're a little bit tricky, but yeah, gonna go with those and stick those around. I'm gonna skip forward because it takes me a little bit of time to stick all these down. And then, of course, once those are all down, I can't finish off a layout without Heidi Shine. And it has to be gold because of all the beautiful gold happening on the page. So I just sprinkle a little bit of that on. I didn't actually cover my photos this time because if I covered the photos, I'd have nothing left to sprinkle on. I had so many photos on the page. And so here we go. Here is the finished layout. So please make sure you check that description box down below. Check out Claire, Scrappy Node UK. Check out Amber over at Dragonfly Dreams. And we are starting a playlist as well. So if you are up to date and you are watching day number 2, obviously there's not much in the playlist. But if you're looking back at these and we're up to another month or another day, definitely check out the playlist for all 30 layouts. Thanks everyone. Catch you tomorrow for day number 3.